All right, so we're in our resistance band section of all of our workouts. So this is our resistance band. There's a few ways that we can actually use a resistance band. Typically for either upper body or lower body exercises, you would want to step in the band and you can either flip it with the hands or we can put it over our shoulders here and then step in the band for some lower body movements. Or another option as we do more lower body movements is putting it under our foot and then using this for both, again, lower body and upper body movements, okay? All right, we're gonna go into our banded squat now. So I'm gonna grab the band. Again, my feet are gonna be in the inside of the band. I'm gonna flip it over to where it's resting on the middle of my hand here with the elbows straight. I'm gonna be nice and upright with my chest. I'm gonna descend into my squat and then come back. So make sure we're pushing those knees open, keeping a nice upright torso, and then I'm gonna push through the ground from there. All right, so we're gonna be doing the banded RDL. We're gonna be targeting our hamstrings here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step in the band. I wanna make sure the band is doubled up underneath my feet. I'm gonna start nice and tall with arms long. From here, I'm gonna push my tailbone as far as I can back, and then we're gonna stand up nice and tall and squeeze our butt and brace our abs. Now, if that tension is too easy for your lower body, what you can do to make it slightly harder is you're gonna grab the outside of the band where it's doubled up, and same thing, we're gonna hinge, just gonna provide a little more resistance at the top of the motion, and you'll get less resistance at the bottom. All right, we're gonna be working our balance here with some single leg RDLs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna double up the band under my foot, okay? I wanna pull up on the band. From here, I'm gonna go up on one leg. I wanna lift that back leg as high as I can, and then you're gonna stand up from there. So the biggest thing is we're only going as low as we're able to maintain our balance. So again, starting on the one leg, back leg goes nice and high. I'm folding from that hip and then drive the hip all the way through from there. All right, we're gonna be doing the Spanish squat. So we want this band attachment to be a little bit lower than hip height. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put both legs in the band here. And I actually want the band to sit slightly above my knees. Okay, from here, I'm gonna be nice and upright. I wanna push the knees open, and then I'm sitting straight down. Okay, think like you're trying to rip that band apart as you're squatting. I like to reach forward to kind of keep a little bit of balance, and I'm keeping that nice upright torso position.
All right, the next thing that we're going to teach you is the banded good morning. So what we're gonna do with our band here is we're gonna bring it over the shoulders, just like this, and we're gonna bend a little bit and step into the band. We make this nice triangle. We're gonna hold on to the band and we're gonna bring our hips back, tailbone towards the wall, and then coming right back up. You're gonna feel it here in the hamstrings. Try to keep all toes on the floor, tailbone back, and back up. The next exercise we're going to show you is the goblet squat. So I have two implements here. I have my kettlebell and my dumbbell free weight. I'm going to show you a front view of our goblet squat and a side view of our goblet squat. So for this position, I'm going to use my dumbbell. First off, I like to think about where my feet are. I like to keep my feet shoulder width apart with my toes slightly pointed outward. I'm gonna grab the bottom of that dumbbell free weight, keep it close to me, and then I'm going to, in a slow and controlled position, go down, and then come back up. Go down, and then up. With the kettlebell, very similar. I like to hold the handles. Same thing, keep the kettlebell close to me. We're going down, and then up.
All right, so we're gonna be doing our hamstring and leg extension combo machine. So there's a few ways, before we get set up, there's a few ways we can adjust this machine depending on our limb lengths, especially if you have longer legs. You actually want the pad farther away from you. If you have shorter legs, I recommend having the pad closer to you. Easiest way to adjust this is you're gonna pull on this little knob here, and then you can slide it either up or away from you as you need. All right, so now we're gonna go over the hamstring curl portion of this machine. So what I like to do is I have the pads resting right on my mid-calf area. Okay, from here I'm gonna lay down right at the slope of the pad here, and then we've got these awesome handles we're gonna firmly grasp, and then we're gonna curl our heels to our butt, and then we're gonna control the way down from there until our legs go straight. You're gonna curl, you're gonna hold for a split second, and then we're gonna control the way down. All right, so we're gonna go over the back extension machine. Before we get into the technique of the movement, we're gonna work on the setup first. So the biggest thing is we wanna know is the pad should be sitting right at our hip bone. So if you find the bony parts of your hip here, this is where the pad should be sitting. So if we look down at the machine, this first yellow toggle is gonna adjust how far or close you are to the pad. This is gonna be the more important one that we wanna focus on, just because that'll dictate how far we are sitting on the pad. The second one here is just adjusting the angle of it, so you kind of find what's more comfortable for you, but we really wanna focus on this first one. Again, just pulling the yellow toggle up, and then you can slide either back or forward from there, okay? So when I set up, back of my legs are against the pad. Again, this is an ideal position for me because it's sitting right at my hip bones, and then I can start the movement from here. All right, so now that we have the back extension machine suited for us, we're gonna actually go through the movement now. Now the whole target muscle group is what we're trying to aim for is our glutes, hamstrings, and a little bit of low back, but we're mostly gonna be focusing on the hamstrings and our glutes here. So when we set up, again, back of the legs on the pad, I wanna get as low as possible. I'm pretty much like in this dead hang position from here, okay? I want to cross my arms over the shoulders. I'm actually gonna round my back slightly. So I'm gonna kind of slightly round and tuck, and I'm gonna lift up nice and slow. I'm squeezing my butt forward. Almost try to squeeze your hips through the pad. Once I feel my hamstrings and my butt, I'm gonna come back down nice and controlled from here. Again, keep that slight tuck. I'm lifting up, squeezing the hips forward. I'm gonna pause and have a nice slow tempo on the way down.